Hi guys, and welcome to my presentation on constructivist theories in education. So the first constructivism theorist that we're going to talk about is Erik Erikson, and he believed that life was broken into several psychosocial stages of development. In each one of these stages, a person could either be successful or unsuccessful. This would lead to either healthy or unhealthy personalities. So let's look at an example. Identity versus role confusion, which Erikson grouped into 12-year-olds to 18-year-olds. And these kids are going through their life as they are learning and growing their knowledge. They begin to either fall into an identity and understand more about who they are, or based on pressures around them from the outside and also what they're learning, they could slip into role confusion, unsure of what their identity is. So obviously identity here would be the healthy personality versus role confusion, which gives us the unhealthy one. Okay? These stages build off of one another, each stage one off the other, to help shape our knowledge and our personality. Next, we're going to talk about Lawrence Kohlberg. Lawrence Kohlberg, like Erikson, focused on stages of development, but instead of psychosocial development, he focused on moral stages of development. So Kohlberg suggested that people develop their morals in a constructivist fashion, with each stage building on the last, much like we talked about with Erikson. But he said that children go from saying what is right and wrong to why it is so to being able to produce their own moral perspectives. So it's like a stair step. You can tell that a young child might know, oh, that's wrong, or he might say, oh, that's right, that's okay, but they might not know why. The next step is to learn why and then to be able to form your own perspective morally. That's how Kohlberg believed we build students up in education. Next is Lev Vygotsky. Vygotsky is a little bit different. He believed that learning is a collaborative effort from the child and those around them. Okay, so this means that people build on what they know by incorporating the things that they are learning with the things that others can provide for them. So this means in a classroom, a student would be only be able to learn as much as those around him and as much as the teacher can provide them. This means that they would bring what they know and apply what other people are telling them to further their knowledge in the classroom. And this is a little bit of an expanded view of constructivism that includes not only our own knowledge building on each other, but the knowledge of others. So what does this look like for us? In a flipped classroom, constructivism means that students can bring their own perspectives and their own prior knowledge into the classroom, a lot like Vygotsky said, as well as knowledge from the lecture, right? So we're going to do the lecture first, and then when they come into the classroom, they'll have the lecture knowledge, their own knowledge, and be able to bounce ideas off of their classmates and peers, as well as their teacher, who is serving as a guide in a flipped classroom. This puts the focus solely on the student's knowledge, as opposed to the teacher's lecture. The lecture content is great, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is what are the children learning. So students can build off their knowledge and the knowledge of their peers, as well as the knowledge from the lecture. But the big thing is this social interaction that allows us to work together to grow in knowledge and to understand the content. And this will happen in learning stations set up by the teacher in the classroom. So for today's flipped lecture, we're going to watch this PowerPoint that I will have sent out to you, as well as if you'll click this link right here that says Constructivist Education, that will take you to a YouTube video explaining a little bit more about the history of constructivist education. After you do that, when you come into class, you will find 5 different stations. The first is a research station that you could choose. This station, you'll be able to find a new article about constructivism and summarize it if you'd like. Another option would be the reflection station, where in a group, you'll reflect together on how constructivism impacts your personal education. Then there will be a mind mapping station, which will be individually or with a group, you will make a mind map connecting these theories. Finally, there's, not finally, there's 2 more. The creation station is next, and individually or in a group, you will show your understanding of constructivism in a non-traditional, unique way to you. What does it mean to you? And finally, there's the lesson planning station. So you'll create a lesson plan for a class centered on constructivism, much like I am doing now. Here's a look at the reference sheet, and make sure that when you do these things that you also include your reference sheet, and I want you to watch that video after you watch this PowerPoint and come to class prepared and ready for our stations. I'll see you guys then. Thanks.